Okay, have we started here? Are we live? I think we should be. Just let me double check if my sound is coming through properly. Let's see. Okay, yes it is. Hello everyone, how are you all doing? I hope you are all doing well this Sunday, and I wish you have a wonderful week. You know, we're just starting the week here. And I see there Moose Guy. Hello there, Moose Guy. Glad to have you here on stream. Hiao as well, and Daryl Dixon, and Dark Knight as well. Hello there, my friends. Come join us and play on the Miami server today. We'll be on the US, but feel free to join wherever you are from. I myself am from South America, from Brazil, and I'll be playing with 100-something ping, which is a bit more manageable than what I was playing last week when we were on the London server, so I think I'll have an easier time today. But yeah, we are on the Miami server with a couple of people already. If you don't know how to connect to community servers, you see there's an IP here on screen. It will be on the corner as well, up there, on the top left corner of stream, and it is also on the description of the stream. We are on the Miami server today. That is the IP, and all you have to do is grab that IP and come here on Find a Game, Community Servers, and on the Favorites tab you click here on this button, Add a Server, and then you paste in the IP and click Add to Favorites, and it will show up in this box, and then you can connect like that. We are already here with Minctory, as you can see, a bunch of cool people. Free to Play Noob, Firefly, Your Last Grape, and Uncle Leo as well are already here on the server. And today I want to play some Soldier, you know, to kind of show off my new loadout. For those of you who follow the community tab for this channel, probably already saw this new loadout. You know, I painted my Dead of Night Team Spirit color, and I also bought this Screaming Eagle for Soldier with the circling TF logo and painted it Team Spirit as well. So that's my new loadout. I think it kind of matches, you know, especially because the Soldier hat already comes with a mustache, and I also have the Da Vinci here with a cool loadout. Pretty nice loadout there, Da Vinci. Pretty nice, really like it. Pretty cool. Very nice and usual. So I'm back to using my Professor Specs, you know. I have this item and I really like it, you know. I helped plenty of people over the years. You can see new users helped, 46 new users helped. So I was actually kind of looking for a way to showcase once again my strange Professor Specs. And I felt like the Globetrotter I had, the old Unusual I owned, you know, wasn't a very good hat to use with the Professor Specs. Okay, we have a sniper there. I was looking for the scout actually, but since the sniper is there, we might as well try to hit him. And Uncle Leo there trying to hit us with the Rap Assassin. So yeah, that's why I traded my old Unusual. I don't have it anymore, and on my other classes I'll be using my duck hat, which I really like, the duck build Hatipus. I think that's how it's called. So yeah, new loadout. I hope you fellas appreciate it. I'm liking it, and thank you so much for everyone who voted on the community tab. You know, I was kinda like on the fence about which color I should use, but I decided to go with the Team Spirit one, which was the one that won the community poll. So thank you very much, fellas. that was a good one, Your Last Grape. Thank you very much, everyone who voted and helped me decide that. I appreciate it. And Uncle Leo sent a message there, a special message, you know, that my channel members can send, and he's behind me actually. So yeah, there he is. He was saying there, summer updates coming, any wishes or guesses? Also, Screen Fortress is only 76 days away. Let's hope that bots won't interrupt us. Yeah, you know, last year I was able to play all the contracts for Screen Fortress, but it was a bit of a hassle, Leo, because of the bots. So yeah, let's hope Screen Fortress is easier to play this year. Would be nice. And about summer update, I don't really have any wishes or guesses, you know. If I could say I have a wish, it would be that the hat that I made, the Commoner's Kabuto, gets added into the game. So that would be a wish I have, but I know it is a bit of an unrealistic wish. You know, that hat isn't even that well made, if you ask me. I did my best, but it isn't a very you know, polished model on the workshop. But yeah, that is my wish. I don't really expect much new content, you know, for TF2 in terms of new heads and stuff like that. It is fine to have that kind of stuff, but I'm not expecting anything really. I don't know, would be nice to have some cool war paints, if you ask me, because we oftentimes don't get the coolest war paints that are available on the workshop. So would be interesting to see what war paints they add, if at all, you know, into the game on summer update. Coming a bit late actually, this summer update, don't you think, fellas? Usually it is like in late June that the summer update gets released with a new crate. So yeah, you know, coming a bit late. Well, I actually wish more for fixes, you know, for new patches, for this game to keep improving and keep being worked on, as it has been for the last weeks, you know, the last month or so. So I hope that continues, Uncle Leo. That's my biggest wish for sure. Hey, hello there, Tsuki. Nice. From Greece? Ah, my compliments to Greece in that case. Beautiful country, I hope I can visit it someday. And Sofek, hello there, Sofek. And Dr. Kebab will be joining a bit later. Ah, glad to know, Dr. Kebab. It is always nice to play with you on the server. I really appreciate it. And Da Vinci with the unusual weapon, you see, pretty nice. The pirate loadout for heavy weapons guy is so cool. I really like that hat, you know. I wouldn't use it very much, I think, but it is a cool hat, you know. More classes should have pirate outfits. I know that Demoman has a bunch of pirate outfits. Heavy has one as well. Soldier has, I think, somewhat of a pirate look. And Scout, if I'm not mistaken, also has a pirate hat. But there should be a way to have, you know, a full composition of pirates with your class loadouts. I think some people would appreciate that option. To be able to make all your classes look like pirates. Could be fun. Okay, the Scout is coming through the back, I think. No, he didn't went that way. Okay. Ah, here he is. Gotcha. But I'm almost dead. Let's grab this health here and capture the point. I'll check chat in just a sec, fellas. Minctory died to this saw here. Poor Minctory. It happens, it happens. I myself often die to these saw blades here. You know, more maps need trains, saw blades, and pits of death, you know. I feel like every map is a little bit better when they have this sort of environmental hazards. Also, I really like when maps have a little bit of water for pyro sharks, you know. It is... Ah, come on! It is a lot of fun when that happens. So yeah. What else are you saying there? What else? Joker Miles, hello Joker Miles, I'm doing fine, what about you? Glad to have you here. Nice. Daryl is Ashen. Are you on the server, Daryl? Yeah, you are. Ah, very nice to be playing with you, my friend. And Casper is saying, this map is beautiful. Yeah, you know, for sure, Casper. I like the aesthetic of Sawmill here. Yeah, and you don't really see it that much often, you know. Especially with the rain and the fog and everything, it looks very nice. But it isn't a common aesthetic for TF2 maps. People usually go more with the sandy look of maps like Dust Bowl, or with the alpine look of maps like, you know, Viaduct or Gorge, you know, that sort of aesthetic. But I really like this one, you know, the kind of like Sawmill. What's the name of the other map? Nightfall and Nightfall. Is it Nightfall? I think it is. And the payload one. What's it called? I'm thinking about Hightower, but it isn't Hightower. It is the one that is a multi-stage payload map. Thunder Mountain. That one. I really like this look, you know, and I wish it was more popular, you know. Pretty nice map, for sure. And Hiao is saying there, beware of spies, teacher. I'll try to pay attention. Hiao, are you a spy on the other team? Let me see. No, it doesn't look like. At least I'm not noticing you here. So yeah. But I'll try to pay attention, Hiao. For sure. Glad to have you here, my friend. Always helping us out. Pay our server costs. Thank you very much. Okay, I have to remember not to stay in one place. Otherwise, that soldier will be able to spam the Cow Mangler quite easily. And that could be a problem, really. Okay, sniper's trying to escape. Will he manage to escape? Okay, did not manage to escape. Nice. Come on. I can't hit air shots, you know. I have to go back to practicing more TF2 because I am rubbish. I remember when I was like, you know, playing very seriously, trying to actually hit my air shots. I would manage to hit them more often than not, you know. But I've since, you know, stopped trying to play well, and my skills have rusted. You know, I've lost practice. So I have to practice more, that's sure. Hey Newton, glad to have you here, Newton. You have a question. He said, you got interviewed for D-Will's video. Yeah, I did, Newton. I did for sure. I don't think my voice showed on that video. I've watched it and I didn't catch, you know, myself saying anything there on his video. But I did send some files for him, and I was glad to see my avatar there, my main avatar, you know, the Steam profile pic on his video's background. It was a lot of fun to participate, for sure. And what else are you saying there? Casper is saying there are very bad cosmetics in the game made by the community. I don't know how Valve accepts them. Yeah, for sure. There are better stuff in the community workshop than what gets added. But you know, I think mostly bad cosmetics are kind of subjective, you know. There's a lot of stuff that was actually made by Valve and, you know, fits the TF2 art style that you could say is also bad. It's more like personal preference. At least what gets added into the game, most of the time, is technically well done, you know. It's not like a poor job of 3D modeling and texturing, you know. So at least there's that. But in the end, it's personal preference. I'm just happy that this game still gets new content, you know, even if it is simply new hats or new warpaints. It is better than not having anything at all, because I think the trading scene would get pretty stale very quickly if we didn't have new cosmetics at all added into this game. So, you know, it is what you get. But community creators deserve to be praised for their work. They are not like making things knowing that they will be added into the game. So most people who make TF2 hats and warpaints are essentially doing that for free, you know. Of course they get paid when the item gets added into the game, but there is no guarantee that will ever happen, so they are mostly working for free out of love for the game, you know. So that's a good thing, I think. I'll just die here and check what you're saying on chat, fellas. Just give me a sec. I don't want to let LeBron James die here all by himself. So let's try to support James here and helping out. Okay, this is... Ah, he always playing spy, so that's why you said I should pay attention. Okay, Hiao, you see, I am paying attention. As you can see here, there is a sniper somewhere. Ah, it's there. Okay. Let's stay here because I think I am protected. Yeah, by this tower here. Let's try to help the pyro there. I don't think I killed Firefly. Yeah, and the soldier got me. Okay. A lot of people using the Calmangler for whatever reason, you know. I don't often see that weapon being very used, so it's nice to see you fellas are giving it some love. Pretty cool, pretty cool. What else are we saying there? Tsuki joined from Europe. Ah, very nice, Tsuki. Very nice. Ah, no, you joined the European IP. Ah, okay. It is always nice to play with you fellas from all over the world. I really appreciate it. Pretty cool. Ah, and Dark Knight saying, it's summer updates, but they didn't say for what country. We'll get one in Christmas. Yeah, Dark Knight saying that because here in Brazil, the Southern Hemisphere, we are currently in winter, and our summer will be in close to December, you know, so close to Christmas. So that's why the summer update will be in December, because it will be the Brazilian summer. Dark Knight saying there. Yeah, because it is coming quite late, the summer update, for sure. What else are you saying there? I'm Lewis saying, the summer update is coming. You may remember that we haven't even got a skin crate last Christmas. Yeah, we did not, Leo. I remember that. For sure. Will be interesting to see what they come up with this summer, you know. What cosmetics get added. I'm looking forward to that, for sure. What else are you saying there? And Devi? Hello, Devi. Pretty nice to have you here. Ah, and he's saying the stamp hat is a pirate hat, the World Traveler hat. I really like it, by the way. Here is mine, so you fellas can see where is it. Here, the World Traveler's hat. Yeah, it is a pirate hat, but it would be nice to have more diversity, you know. I actually made a video about the World Traveler's hat a while ago, wishing it were actually a misc, you know, not a hat. Something that you could use with an unusual hat. Because, you know, the World Traveler hat is an unusual, but it is kind of lackluster, the effect that it gives you. And it doesn't really get better when you buy more stamps. And that's kind of lame, you know. So I wish it were made a misc, because then I would be able to use my unusual hat with the World Traveler's hat, and it would be like a bonus effect that I get, you know. I'll get my regular unusual effect for my hat and the stamp trail that the World Traveler's hat gives. So I think that would be pretty neat. It would be nice if they did that, but it's not kind of a very realistic expectation, you know. So yeah. Hey, Kalmanana is there. Hello there, Kalmanana. Glad to have you here. Always nice to see you on stream, my friend. Very nice. What else are you saying there? What else? Musga is saying that you recently got into a 4v4 game. Ah, that's very nice. It's good practice, for sure. You know, I played a little bit, Musga, of... I think it's called Ulti Duo. It is a community game mode for TF2 that has 2 soldiers and 2 medics. So each team has 1 soldier and 1 medic. You know, and it is very good soldier and medic practice. I really liked whenever I got to play Ulti Duo. You know, most of the time I would simply get destroyed by the other team, but it was a lot of fun and a good practice to get better in TF2, you know, so pretty good. Recommend you fellas play. And also there, hello there. Who else? Gabriel, hello, I'm doing fine, Gabriel. And Bruno, glad to have you here, Bruno. Saying, did you see the bots getting kicked more in matches? I heard that, Bruno, for sure, but I haven't seen it in person, actually. because I mostly play TF2 on these streams with few fellas on my servers, so my experience with bots in TF2 is very limited in the last, you know, year or so. But I'm glad. It seems that casual is more playable. And I always notice that when my servers are empty, because when my servers are empty, people are playing on casual, you know, here in Brazil. So I'm happy to see that. Pretty cool. Very nice. And Newton asking about tacobots.tf. I heard about it, but I'm not sure what it is, Newton. If you could explain it to us on the chat, would be nice. So yeah. And Evie saying the Cow Mangler is the best weapon. No, it isn't, Evie. Actually, the best weapon is the Righteous Bison. You know, by the way, let's play with the Righteous Bison. Let me switch loadouts here. Let's go with my strange Cow Mangler 5000 as a subscriber gave me. And the Righteous Bison. Let's see if I have a weapon to go with it. Let's go with what? I don't have any sort of high-tech weapon for soldier. Is there a high-tech weapon? Melee weapon for soldier? I don't think there is. Let's go with the escape plan, just because it is useful. Let's do this. But this is the best weapon in TF2, the Righteous Bison. You know, I was looking for it, because there is a real-world replica, you know, a prop of the Righteous Bison that you can actually buy, and it is very well made. And I was kind of checking out the availability and the price for it, and it made me a bit depressed, you know. Sometimes we see people on Reddit TF2, for example, showing off their real-world Righteous Bisons. And Uncle Lil with the capper here, very nice skin, Uncle Lil. So yeah, I wish I could afford one of these. And buying this sort of stuff, being from Brazil, is very hard. First, because our local currency is not worth much, so for me it would be like, you know, triple the price that would be for you fellas to buy such a thing. For you fellas in the United States, that's what I mean. But other than that, shipping for Brazil is very expensive and unreliable. So there is always the chance that I'll end up buying it and not getting it because it may get lost in shipping or something like that. You know, it's very, very sad and very rubbish. Okay, let's push the cart here. Got there the spy. And no one's pushing the cart, we have to push the cart, fellas. But yeah, the Righteous Bison is my favorite weapon by far. Even if it is kinda useless, I really like it. When I was a noob playing the game, I spent a lot of time playing with it. Because, you know, the shotgun is good and all, but I think the Righteous Bison, especially back then, offered something different for soldier. Nowadays, it's more of a meme weapon than anything. But it is still fun to use. I particularly like to try and hit Righteous Bison air shots. Let's see if I can pull this off, you know, kind of like shoot at someone's feet. Casper was faster there. To pop them in the air and try to combo with the Righteous Bison. It is a very bad combo, you know, you will not get many kills like that, but it is always funny when you manage to hit such a combo. I really like it. It is a lot of fun to do. Okay, since we are on the long range here, let's actually spam some Righteous Bison shots. Because this weapon really shines, in my opinion, in the long range. You know, the lasers aren't very visible. This is why, yeah. And because of that, you really can hit people because they are not really paying attention to the laser trajectory, you know. So, okay, your last grape was destroyed there. Okay, I don't have to worry. Very nice. And especially against pyros, I feel like the Righteous Bison is a very interesting weapon. They oftentimes try to air blast the lasers, but they can't do that, so they just waste ammunition and such, you know. It is really a waste of time. I managed to kill your last grape with my Righteous Bison, nice. Always nice to get a kill with it. This is a spy. Yeah. I'm paying attention. No, the Calm Angler is pretty good. It is just the stock rocket launcher after all, but with infinite ammo. If you don't have an enemy engineer on the other team, you can really put it to good use, you know. Okay, let's see. Okay, he died there. Nice. I'm doing well in this life, fellas. I'll check what you're saying in just a sec. I just don't wanna die here. The only problem is that I don't have a kill streak kit on this Calm Angler, so it's not really counting my kill streaks. But that's okay. It's kind of refreshing to play without kill streaks for once, because I have kits for most of my weapons. Oh, I have a spy here, okay? Come on, Mr. Spy, come on. Okay, got Hiao there. I think Hiao only got my head once this whole game, if I'm not mistaken. My head, not my back. So I'm probably paying good attention. Okay, let's disable that sentry. The good thing is that it is a static target, so it is easy to aim the charged shot at it. So yeah. What else are you saying there, my friends? Let me see, let me see. Web Gamer, hello there. Glad to have you here. Pretty nice. I Junior has a laptop and TF2 crashes a lot on it. I'm sorry for you, Junior. It's pretty hard to play TF2, especially on low-end laptops. So yeah, perhaps installing the master config, which is a performance CFG for the game, perhaps that could help you. But yeah, I'm sorry if you can't run the game. That's bad. What else are you saying there? Calm Nana is saying, I have the World Traveler's hat as well. The unusual is definitely underwhelming, but at least the normal hat looks good on Demo Man and other loadouts. Yeah, you know, it is a cool hat, I like it. I think it especially looks good with the Max Severed head, you know, because then you have a pirate hat with bunny ears, and that looks great, I think. But I wish it was like if you could have the option of wearing it as a hat or as a badge or a necklace or a scarf or something like that, you know, that would allow you to use a hat with it. That way you could have a cheap, unusual misc, you know. And I think that would be good for the game because it would make the World Traveler's hat more interesting, you know, more valuable. People would probably donate more money to map makers, you know, buying stamps and stuff like that. The video I made about that is one of my favorite videos here on this channel, because I think it is really a good idea to make the World Traveler's hat a misc, you know, or something like that. Hey Delta, hello there. Delta is saying vote kicks can happen in both teams at the same time now, and bots have to wait a few minutes before kicking players, so it's better now. That's very good to know. You know, if you think about it, it wasn't that hard for them to actually improve like that, you know. Were just small changes. Come on, Minctory. Minctory trolling the team here. But yeah, you know, it was a small change that really made a difference. I appreciate it happened, but I wish we got that change sooner, you know. So yeah. And Gabriel is saying there, the Bison's being nerfed to the ground from what I hear. Makes me feel bad about it. Yeah, I wish, you know, it was made useful in some manner, you know. What I wish the Bison had was like if it were the Man Melter, you know, for Pyro. The Man Melter for Pyro is a flare gun, for those of you who don't know. And aside from shooting a flare, you can actually extinguish teammates with it. And on Pyro, when you do that, you get crits. And that's very nice. It is not, you know, the best weapon for Pyro, but it is a pretty good alternative to the flare. Especially when you are using a weapon that does not have air blast, like the Phlogiston, or that has unreliable air blast like the Dragon's Fury. So for Pyro, the main melter is pretty good. And I think what Valve could do to make the Righteous Bison more useful is to give that option, you know, to extinguish teammates on fire to the Righteous Bison as well. Like you could right click and then extinguish a burning teammate. That would be very useful. You know, would give some utility to the Righteous Bison. And if you could get the crit from that, just like the Man Melter, perhaps it would be a bit OP, but considering the laser is so slow and the weapon has not a very high fire rate, I don't think it would be that OP. But it would be fine with me if the Righteous Bison didn't get the crit from extinguishing teammates. I would be fine with that, really. But I wish the extinguish mechanic was there, you know. I got another kill there. It's so funny to get these Righteous Bison kills because people really don't expect you to be able to do that. People are always like, you're using the Righteous Bison, that's a rubbish weapon, you will not be able to do anything with it, and then you manage to get a kill. It is always a lot of fun. He managed to get me there. Very nice, my friend. So yeah, that's my idea for the Righteous Bison. Let me know in chat what you think. You know, what would you do to make the Righteous Bison better? Because back in the day, it was kind of buggy. What happened is that the projectile would, you know, have inconsistent damage because it penetrates players. You know, it goes through players and doesn't get destroyed. That would cause some inconsistent damage, you know, and sometimes it would be more powerful than it really should be. So I don't think that nerfing the Righteous Bison was a bad thing, really. I think it was necessary, but the problem is that they did nothing to make up for the nerf. And considering the other weapon in the set, the Cow Mangler, sets people on fire with the charged shot, I think it would make sense for the Righteous Bison to extinguish teammates on fire, you know, would thematically make sense, you know, in my opinion. So that's what I think. What else are you saying there, fellas? Let's see. What else are you saying? Dark Knight's saying as well, I miss when the Righteous Bison was busted on MVM a few years ago. You could melt a tank in 5 seconds. Yeah, it was ridiculous. So it is a funny weapon. To this day, it is fun to use the Righteous Bison, even if it isn't very good or very, you know, reliable, for that matter. So yeah. What else are you saying there? Gabriel is saying that it is nice to use the Bison with the Liberty Launcher, because the Liberty Launcher has 1 extra rocket. I have to try that, for sure. Sounds fun. And Newton is suggesting the direct hit. Yeah, could be a nice one. Direct hit's very useful, I really like it. But the velocity on rockets sometimes puts me off, you know, the change in velocity. But it is a pretty good weapon, for sure. Lewis talking about the Max Severed Head. Recently I sold one with Spectrum spell for like 100 keys. Already preparing some stuff for Screen Fortress. That's a lot, Leo. Very nice. Yeah, the Max Severed Head is a classic, you know, very good item. I really like the aesthetic of it. Especially because it is one of those heads that isn't a head, actually, you know, you can use it with other heads. That's what I mean when I say the World Traveler's head should be a misc, you know. I wish it was like the Max Severed Head. But yeah, congratulations on your sale, Leo. That's a very good sale. You know, I used to do some trading for a while, but I never got much profit. I talked about this on another stream, and the most profit I think I got on my trading career was like 3 keys in the end, you know. After I retired, my profit was of 3 or 4 keys, something along those lines. Nice. And also about the Righteous Bison, it is a great weapon to play on servers with random crits. My servers don't have random crits, So that also nerfs the Righteous Bison a little bit, I think. But whenever you get a random crit with the Bison, and it gets like 3 to 4 players who are in line on a corridor or something like that, it is so good, so good. A lot of fun. I really like when that happens. I used to have a subscriber on my Brazilian channel who would show up when I was playing with the Righteous Bison just to Kritzkrieg Uber me, so he could get a bunch of kills with this silhouette. It is so good, and because people don't see the laser coming, because it isn't very visible, you can actually stack up a pretty good kill streak like that. It was very funny, very funny. So yeah. What else are you saying there? Let me see. Junior is asking, how can I get heads cheaper? I think the cheapest way to get heads nowadays is to buy them from trading bots, you know. From websites like scrap.tf, mainco.trade, backpack.tf, you know. Heads, regular heads, aren't really that expensive nowadays. With a couple of refined metal, you can get quite a bunch of heads, you know. So that's how I would go about it. It certainly is cheaper than crafting the heads, because to craft a head you need 3 refined, and you can buy, you know, those heads from less than 2 refined most of the time, like 1 ref and some scrap, and you have a head. So that's how you do it, really. Bruno's talking about the Righteous Bison. I think making more damage, something like 80, like the projectile is very hard to hit, it would be a high risk, high reward weapon. That's an interesting suggestion, Bruno, but I don't know if it would be a good call, because sure, it is hard to hit the Righteous Bison, but it is a very spammy weapon. You know, I could, for example, stay here at the opening of this tunnel and just spam the Righteous Bison. Because it has infinite ammo, I don't really have to worry about having to stop spamming, you know. So making such a spammy weapon that powerful, I don't know if it would be a good call, you know. But yeah, I also feel like the Righteous Bison does too little damage, you know, compared to the shotgun, for example. So perhaps buffing the damage a little bit could be a good thing, but not too much, I think. What is the base damage of it, so we can compare? Because you suggested 80. How does that compare to the base damage? How much is the Bison's base damage? If you fellas know, I think that would be interesting to be able to judge Bruno's suggestion like that. You know, I would check it, but I can't right now. I would go check it on the wiki, but I can't. I'm trying to survive here. Okay, we have a pyro. Let's keep spamming this. You see, you know, I can spam this as much as I want, really. So that's why I don't think that giving it too much base damage would be nice. Firefly managed to kill me there. Come on. What else are you saying? Let me see here. Let me see. And Hansel saying, I just want Valve to update community servers to have better UI like with casual. You know, the server browser. Yeah, I want the server browser to be updated as well. It is functional, it works. But especially for new players, it is kind of hard to understand. It is a UI from, what, 20 years ago, I think. It is the same one that we used to use on the first Half-Life and its mods. You know, I remember playing a lot of Counter-Strike 1.6, and this server browser was the same for Counter-Strike 1.6. So yeah, it has to be updated, but I don't want Valve to make it too easy to get into community servers. For example, I don't want to have like an automated kill to get into community servers or anything like that. Because what would happen if it suddenly were extremely easy to mass connect to community servers is that community servers would start having the same problems that casual has with bots. The bot problem is a very complex situation, but one of the things that enables bad actors to spam connect to Valve servers is the casual kill. And if suddenly community servers had something like that, they would start becoming prey to those sorts of bad actors as well. So it should remain a little bit hard to connect to community servers, in my opinion. But the UI, I think, should be updated. I agree with you. It is very, you know, how do you say that? It is kind of overwhelming for new players to use the server browser. So that's true, for sure. And Bruno is saying, or another suggestion from Bruno, or perhaps the Bison could do fire damage. Have a charged shot like the Cow Mangler or something like that. I find the idea interesting, but I think that would take away from the Cow Mangler what makes it special, I think. It would be kind of like a mini Cow Mangler. And I don't think that would be also very interesting. You know, it would be interesting to use and fun for sure, Bruno. That's a fine idea, but when you consider that's what the Cow Mangler does, I don't know if it would be very nice. I don't know, I still think the idea of extinguishing flames and then perhaps, you know, gaining a crit like the Man Melter could help the Righteous Bison. Like, it is a Man Melter for Soldier with a slower projectile. Because if I'm not mistaken, the Man Melter projectile is faster, I think. So, that's my idea for it. And Uncle Leo wants to challenge me. Let's go. Let's duel, my friend Leo. What else are you saying there? Let me see. Dark Knight saying you should play defense on Dust Bowl with the Bison. You can do a lot with the weapon there. Yeah, because the map is basically a bunch of corridors. Yeah, it is a very good map for the Righteous Bison. I think that's a fine suggestion, my friends, for sure. But you see, the Bison is more viable than it looks. You just have to find a good position to spam it. And make sure you are doing it from long range. If you try to use the Bison like a shotgun, you are in for a bad time. Okay, did that demo man get through? I think he got through. And I still did not manage to get a single Bison air shot. So I'm not being able to do what I wanted here. I wanted to get Bison air shots. But okay, we'll keep using this weapon and we'll keep trying it. And Uncle Leo is approaching me. Are you approaching me, Uncle Leo? Yeah, you're approaching me because you can't really hit me without approaching me. I managed to kill you there, my friend. I don't really understand how I managed to do that, but okay. I won't complain. I was certain I would lose to you, my friend. And the demo man is still trying to get behind us. You know, it could be a big problem if the demo man started camping our spawn, but at the same time, it is only a problem if we start dying here. If we stay alive with this engineer, him being on our spawn won't really matter much. Okay, there's no one at the other end. And Newton is saying, why not the Bison shoot faster like a pistol? That's an interesting idea, Newton. Like, since it is a laser pistol, you know, like it would go pew 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 pew, something like that, you mean? That would be interesting. It would be kind of like a projectile pistol for Soldier. I would like that, actually. I think that would be pretty cool. Nice idea you got there, Newton. Nice idea, and perhaps it could have a larger spread to make it up for that. You know, kind of like the Scout's pistol. when you have weapon spread enabled, which is by default in the game. I think that's a nice idea, Newton. I still wish we could get the fire extinguishing property that I was talking about. I think it would be interesting for this weapon. But that idea of making it fire faster, like a proper pistol, I think would be very interesting. Pretty cool idea. What do you fellas think? Would be interesting to see the Righteous Bison become a proper pistol. Nice idea. I like that. Pretty cool. I don't know what balance mod did, for example, to the Righteous Bison. I don't remember what was their fix for this weapon. But perhaps they already solved that issue with the Bison. Ah, come on, I want to pop someone in the air to try and hit an air shot with the Bison. It is so funny when that happens, but I can't do it. I can't do it. Yeah, and Gabriel is saying, true, the Bison is pretty good when you spam it on choke points. Yeah, you know, so that's why I think the base damage should be low. And Bruno is saying there, he looked it up for us. The base damage for the Bison is 20 damage, it seems. So yeah, you know, upping from 20 to 80 would be a lot, especially for a spammy weapon like the Bison is. So I think the idea of making it shoot faster is a better call. You know, perhaps with also the extinguish property that I was talking about. That would make the weapon more useful for sure. And it would be very fun to be able to go pew 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 like really Flash Gordon on the show, because I think this weapon is based on the Flash Gordon show, which was a very old school show about space. You know, one of the things that inspired Star Wars and Star Trek and all those IPs, you know, those intellectual properties. The charge shot for the Calm Angler is a lot of fun to use as well. It's been a while since I've played with this set. Pretty cool. Okay, there's a sniper on that corner. Let's see if he peeks. Ah, he didn't peek there, okay. I could not hit him. Okay, let's retreat here because this demo man is getting too close. And there are people up here. Yeah, a spy here. Okay, they are pushing. Let's see if I can get behind them. Yeah, this sniper here. Okay. Ah, come on. I was too slow to try and hit that Bison air shot there. Come on. What else are you saying there? Let me see. Let me see. And Kamlan is saying, Professor, what do you think Valve should do in the heavy update if it ever comes out? Yeah, that if it ever comes out hurts a bit, Kamlan, but I'm also of that opinion. I don't think we'll ever get the heavy update, you know. But if we were to get the heavy update, I would like to see, Kalmanana, a new secondary weapon for heavy. Better than the sandwich. You know, not in the sense of like another lunchable item like the banana or the Dalocus bar, but kind of like something that does for heavy what the sandwich did for him back in the day when it was launched, you know. Kind of like a secondary weapon that gives us new utility for heavy, that gives us kind of like a different way to play the game, a different role for it on the team. I've talked about this before, but you know, it is kind of like the same thing that the shields do for Demo Man, or the Dragon's Fury and the Jetpack did for Pyro, you know. Something that changes the way the class is played. Not necessarily too much, you know, otherwise it wouldn't be the heavy anymore, but something like that to give heavy more possibilities in the match. I think all the other classes, even Medic, you know, has that with the Crusader's Crossbow. It really changes how Medic is played, but heavy still doesn't have that. You know, that secondary playstyle that is viable. That's not kind of like just a joke or a meme or something like that. So that's what I would like from a heavy update. What would you fellas want from... I should have tried to hit with the with the righteous Bison. What is it you fellas would like to see from a heavy update? You know, that's my wish. A secondary weapon for heavy that makes heavy exciting to play, you know, that gives it another way to play the game. That's my wish, for sure. And Delta is saying there, new contracts, like the Jungle Inferno Pass. Yeah, I think that would be also necessary. I would really want that. I also made a video about the Jungle Inferno contracts. In my opinion, they should be... You should be able to activate them again and get rewards again for them, you know. If we are never gonna get another contract campaign like that, then Valve should at least give us the option to buy another campaign pass and activate it and complete the contracts again and get the rewards for it. You know, for people who want to do that. I know I would like to do that. I think it would be fun to go around completing those contracts again and getting the rewards that are tradable, you know, that I can sell on the community market. Because it was a lot of fun to do that during Jungle Inferno, to complete the contracts, get some profits, you know, keep the items you think look good. That was a lot of fun and I miss that experience. So I think that would be nice. But yeah, if the heavy updates ever came out, I would like to see another campaign. Even if they are the same contracts, you know, I would like to see that active again in the game. Would be a good thing. Okay, let's spam the righteous Bison, because I might hit some. Okay, there's a numbered pyro coming at me. Okay, with flog crits, I was dead there. There was no escaping from that. So yeah. Dark Knight's talking about cool suggestions, but I think we should just nerf the Rainblower. Dark Knight, you're so funny, my friend. Yeah, Newton is saying for the heavy update, like a shield for heavy, like a wall, a riot shield or something like that. I saw people suggesting that, you know, perhaps giving heavy a shield. Not like the Overwatch shields, you know, but more like the Demo Man shields could work. But I don't know, I don't know, I think it would be more interesting, in my opinion, if heavy got a projectile weapon. You know, an item that would buff heavy, like the shields or something like that, would be interesting as well, I agree. But the more I think about this, you know, what could come in the heavy update, the more I wish that heavy would get a projectile weapon. It would be a lot of fun, like a small grenade launcher or something like that, or a flare, or, you know, something in those lines. I think it would be very interesting. And perhaps, you know, having that secondary weapon equipped would actually nerf your minigun a little bit, just so you are not too overpowered. But I think that would actually give heavy more usability. I don't know, I don't know. I could be talking nonsense here, but it's generally what I think I would like to see, you know. A secondary weapon for heavy that is a projectile weapon. So yeah, what do you fellas think about that? Let me know, is that a bad idea? I think it would be fun. It would be interesting. Hansel saying, it would be interesting for heavy to have a new primary that's a shotgun, and that has some pushback, unless the heavy is crouching. Something to take the place of the minigun. Yeah, that could be interesting as well, Hansel. I think that's also a good suggestion. And Victor is saying, a jetpack for heavy would be cool. Yeah, would be cool, but I don't think it would make sense, considering how the class, you know, considering the core design of the class. Heavy is supposed to be slower, you know. I don't know, I don't think the jetpack idea is the one I would go with. I think that like something to take the place of the minigun, or a secondary weapon that is a projectile based weapon, or a shield for heavy are better choices, I believe. So yeah. Hey, Mr. Spencer, it's been a while. Glad to see you here, my friend. Good to see you as well. Very nice to have you here, Mr. Spencer. Very nice, my friend. By the way, fellas, subscribe to Mr. Spencer. He makes excellent content. Go check him out. Glad to have you here. And Bruno is saying, I saw a video of Big Joey talking about a suit that is a primary to give the heavy 150 HP. More HP. And you can play with the shotgun then. Yeah, making heavy more of a tank, but kinda nerfing his DPS, so you could only use shotguns. Yeah, that would be interesting as well. I think it is an interesting way to think about the situation. But I don't know, in my opinion, the secondary projectile weapon would be more interesting. I think instead of kinda like thinking about ways to nerf heavy, perhaps it would be interesting like thinking, what sort of interesting weapon could we give to its secondary slot? I think a projectile one would be nice, because nowadays heavy is a lot like this. You have to pick and then you commit to shooting and advancing the enemy. And if heavy had a small grenade launcher or something like that, you could shoot from cover, and that would give you something to do when you are not committing to a push. You know, when you are not jumping from cover and then committing to shoot and to push, you know. I think it could give heavy a bit more versatility. But yeah, that's my idea. Make Fat Scout viable, Charlie Fish saying there. Hashtag make Fat Scout viable. Yeah, that could be interesting. Delta is saying perhaps a nail gun. Could be interesting, Delta, but I was thinking more something like the grenade launcher, really. Something that you could shoot at a wall and the projectile would bounce, you know. Something that had an arc and you could hit people indirectly. I think that would freshen up heavy, in my opinion. So that's what I was thinking. And Dark Knight saying, I want a new kind of primary weapon, like a fire explosive. He only has hit scan weapons, and when the enemy has a vaccinator, you can't do anything. Yeah, you know, if he had a secondary projectile weapon that's not hit scan, you could then counter vaccinators. So having it as a primary could be interesting, because then you would have the shotguns to use. But I think it would be more interesting to keep the minigun, but the projectile weapon be the secondary, I think. So yeah. And it's Tony is asking, how old am I? I am 32 years old. I'm getting old for you know, in terms of TF2 YouTuber age, I am pretty old actually. 32. 31, my wife's correcting me. I have 31 years old. I'm gonna make 32 this year. I'm gonna complete 32. So, yeah, but I'm currently 31. That's true. So yeah, fellas. Mr. Spencer is asking, before I finish, I'm gonna answer this one because this one is interesting. How do you decide what you are gonna put into the weekly highlight? For those of you who are new to this channel, what I do here mostly, you know, sometimes I make some special videos that are like more edited and something like that. I will write a good script. But most of the time what I do is I stream on Sundays, you know, like today, and then I cut the stream into segments to post as videos on my channel. And that's what Mr. Spencer is asking. How do I decide what to put into the weekly highlights? I think, Mr. Spencer, more like this. You know, I try to find a moment in stream when I am discussing something that I think is worth hearing. You know, like someone who was not at the stream perhaps would be interested into hearing about this. You know, so those are the segments that I usually cut. Because streams are cool for the interaction. You fellas ask questions, I answer them, then I ask more questions, you continue the conversation there on chat. You know, that interaction is pretty cool, and that's what makes live streaming interesting. But we also discuss topics that are interesting for people who are not on the stream, in my opinion. So for example, today, I'll probably cut to post. I'll probably cut the parts we were talking about the Righteous Bison balance, you know, how to make the Righteous Bison better. You can expect that video on my channel, because we were talking about something that's interesting for offline discussion, you know, for people to think about when they are not on stream actually. And I'll probably also cut, Mr. Dispenser, to post as a video, this part when you were talking about the heavy update, because that's also an interesting discussion topic, you know. When we are not discussing specific things, then I look for moments in the stream in which the gameplay was fun to watch or interesting, you know, or when the gameplay was hectic or something like that. So when we are not discussing topics like this, then that's what I look for. And that's generally how I decide what to cut and post as a highlight, as an individual video on the channel. That's how I do it. So yeah, I hope that answered your question, my friend. You know, I'm always happy to give you tips. And thank you so much, everyone who came to stream to play with us, to chat, you know, to have a good time. I really appreciate you fellas being here, and I wish you all have an excellent week. We'll see each other again next Sunday. Here's a huge heart for all of you. And bye-bye, fellas. Have a good one. Until next Sunday.